very little red meat, but even the other day we finally had to break down and had some red meat.
Yeah, we did. We do
Yeah.
that every now and again.
Every now and then, but not really often any longer.
But we still do chicken and fish and that kind of thing, but we're not always eating a lot of red meat so much. And definitely less of it, yeah. I mean, it was just a saving grace here to start with the meat, because I had been a vegetarian, a vegan, I guess, for a long time, and just was very shaky and ungrounded. And this was before I met Guruji, right before I met her. And when I went into the naturopaths, they told me the most unhealthy people that come in there are vegetarians. So and they even told me to start eating meat before I met Guruji. I was really surprised by that, because I figured that was the most healthiest thing to do. So, you know, right away to break through all that, oh, I'm more holy because I'm a vegetarian nonsense or whatever, just went out the window. And once I started eating meat, the body needed it so desperately, and everything felt so much more grounded and held that steadiness. And so it's definitely very important. Yeah.
I know we get a lot of flack about this issue.
It's a big
Because,
issue.
yeah, because 99.9% of the paths out there are going to tell you, oh, you have to be a vegetarian, and this is, you know. But this is why I've done also the research, and you'll see on some of the sites I just posted the things about, really, vegetarian began to come in with Buddha. Before that, there was no vegetarianism in Hinduism. I hate to be the bearer of bad tidings and news, but that's the reality of the situation. And it only started to change. And even Buddha himself did not dissuade the eating of meat. In fact, he died. He had pork that was bad, and that's how he died.
Wow.
Yeah, he died because... But no, they were eating meat. Buddha and his followers were eating meat. So, and it was one of the Buddha's followers after he had passed that said, well, you know, Buddha was good, but I'm going to be greater because I'm going to really, you know, say about vegetarian, and we have to be vegetarian and this and that. So that's where it really began to come into play.
Or they think vegetarianism equals compassion.
Right.
And, you know, that's where it all started here, part of that. But not to say we're advocating killing or anything like that. That isn't what this is about at all. But, you're not your diet. You're not the food you eat. You know, as they say, you are what you eat. That's not true, okay? It's just you're not the body. This is just for grounding. It has a purpose to it that helps to bring steadiness through the ups and downs.
Yeah. So,
onward.
we've exhausted that subject for another
week.
week.
We hope so.
We've done 2 weeks of that subject now. So.
Yeah, it'll come around again eventually. But
So do we have any other questions or topics from the people here? No. So then we'll move on to the questions that have been sent in. Could Guruji please tell how to pronounce her full name and perhaps elaborate around the meaning of it? Oh, well, Lord, have mercy. Good luck with this. Ganga, yeah, so the full thing is Gangapuri Kali Udamanandagiri. So, it's a long name. That's all luck with this, huh? So, let me explain the whole thing behind why there's such a long name. Because when I was in India and I was with Sundar Puri, he really stressed that I had to take sannyas. Now I went to do some work for my other guru, and I left and went to Lucknow, and I left all my stuff with Sundar Puri in Rishikesh. Okay. And while I was gone, because I would wear all white, because my guru, Guru Rajiv, wears all white. And when I was gone, Sundar Puri got a hold of all of my clothes and he dyed them saffron. Because he was absolutely adamant, you have to become a sannyasi. and he was the one that gave the name of Ganga Puri. And my sannyas ceremony was to take place at the Mahakumbh Mela, but he died before Mahakumbh took place. Okay. And I was there for his passing and helping him to pass. But his last dying words were, take care of Ganga Puri. Make sure Ganga Puri is okay. Take care of her. So I went on my way and I stayed there and took care of his things and the ceremonies, etc., that have to be done with the passing of a sadhu. And then I eventually came back to the States. And then I ran into another sannyasi who again said, oh, you have to take sannyas. Here we go again. Okay, the universe is not letting me out of this, so I'll take sannyas. So it happened to be that the Sankacharya's Mahapujari, his personal pujari, was in Malibu overseeing the building of the Malibu temple. Okay. And you can't get any more respected than the Sankacharya's own personal pujari. He knows what he's doing. So he did the ceremony for me. And the sannyas that brought me into sannyas in place of Sundarpuri, his last name for this is Giri. Giri and Puri are like brother-sister type, in the same type of a lineage. Okay, so that's how I got Giri. Giri means mountain, the steadiness of the mountain. Steady in your practices, steady in your focus. Puri means one that is in the city, lives in the city, but their focus is always on Brahman. So even though you're in the city, it gives you no out, your focus is still 100% on your practice. Ganga, of course, means the bringer of liberation. Okay, if you bathe once in the Ganges, you will gain liberation. And Ganga had come down from the heavens and became the Ganges River, and then the story is those that bathe in her will be regenerated into liberation. Kali, self-explanatory. Kali is the energy of Kali. You know, that which cuts through, that which cuts the head of ego. Ananda means the bliss of, and Uttama means one that is fully realized, yet functional in the world. Okay, so the bliss of having the energy of Kali that cuts through ego is realized and fully functional in the world. That's what the name means. So. But luckily, all you have to do is call me Guruji, with a big O. Yeah, the full name is Gangapuri Kaliyudamanandagiri. A mouthful. So I think that explains the whole of that name.